Thank you for joining me today. It is good to be here to talk about something that's important for education, our workforce, and our employers as well, all tied together. I want to welcome Secretary Johnny Key, Department of Education, Secretary Mike Preston, Department of Commerce, Secretary Amy Fetcher, Transformation, Shared Services, and Rick Neal, pleased to have him from the Arkansas State Chamber of Commerce. And then Senator Jane English, who's been a promoter of the workforce education in our state for a couple years anyway. Glad to have all of you with us today, and they'll be making some comments. Under the CARES Act congressional funding bill, the governors were given discretionary funds. And those discretionary funds were designed to improve educational opportunities in our state for all Arkansans. One of my long-term goals have been, shared by the legislature, is that we have to be more efficient in connecting our work skills and work certifications with employers. And that's been a challenge for us to pull all that together, just as it's a challenge for many states. And so to meet this objective and to accomplish this, I created a working group. Gina Wendell of the Department of Education, Cody Waits, Office of Skills Development, Chris Jones, Division of Workforce Services, Robert Magoo, Division of Information Services, Rick Neal, State Chamber, Andrea Henderson of the community colleges, all worked together on this working group, and Bill Gossage was my liaison to that working group. As a result of their work, I am pleased to announce today that Ready for Life initiative is launched, and I'm committing $14.7 million of my governor's discretionary funds to supporting this project that will accomplish the goal that I outlined. And this starts with an integrated education and workforce data analytics website, readyforlife.arkansas.gov. And if you go there today, you'll see the beginning of a robust website that will be a tool for the future. It'll be unique, it will be searchable, it will be used by employers, it will be used by workers to make sure we connect the workforce and their skills with the right employers. If you go to the next slide, we can see that it includes over $4.5 million to two-year institutions to expand workforce training opportunities in high-wage, high-demand careers for all Arkansans. That's part of the $14.7 million that I outlined. And then you'll see the three key parts of the Ready for Life initiative. First is the learning management system. Secondly is a tracking system for career development among our workforce. And then the learner-employer records, which are the credentials of our workforce that we can market to prospective employers, that we can utilize to attract industry here, but also to match that credentialed employee and their training with the employer and the industry that needs that skill. This will all be brought together in this unique Ready for Life system that will be utilized by all Arkansans, whether the employer side, the worker side. It can also be utilized as a tool to recruit industry to our state, showing that we have these credentials, this capability in workforce. Today, Secretary Preston and I met with a industrial prospect in Arkansas, and the key issue to them was the workforce. And I mentioned that we're developing Ready for Life, but would have been great if I could say, well, let's just search Ready for Life and let's see what welding skills that we have in Arkansas. Let's search what available employees that we have as a machinist that you might need in your workforce. That is a tool that can be used. Whenever you look at those that are not coming out of the K through 12 environment, but they're credentialed through the experience of life, they can join this and they can have their credentials showcased. We hope to have it where as you come, if you're credentialed, if you have skills and you're coming out of an incarcerated environment and you want to be able to market your abilities, this is an opportunity to showcase the skills that anyone has to a potential employer. Obviously, I'm excited about this. I think this is going to step Arkansas forward to a great extent in the connection between our workforce and employers that so need the talent level that we have in Arkansas. And with that, let me invite Secretary Key to comment, followed by Rick from the Rick Neal with the State Chamber, and then we'll just go through and consider English. I'll let you have the closing word. Secretary Key.
Thank you, Governor. Ready for Life consists of 3 main platforms that are integrated into one unified project that will be for the benefit of many Arkansans: a learning management system, a statewide longitudinal data system, which has been a goal of many of us for a number of years, and learner-employer records, as the Governor mentioned. This initiative also demonstrates another positive result of state government transformation, as it brings together resources from multiple state agencies to support Arkansans in an unprecedented way. So often, Arkansans find themselves at a crossroads. In their life, where they're needing to either upskill or reskill their education or their credentialing. And unlike students in our K-12 system, adults don't have a school counselor that they can go to assist them in finding their educational options. Through the Ready for Life initiative, Arkansans at these crossroads now have a support system that connects them to resources and opportunities, including short-term credentialing programs aligned with the local workforce data. The Learner Employer Records Initiative will connect job seekers with business and industry to identify credentialed and certified workers to fill local workforce needs. And in light of COVID, connecting Arkansans with educational resources, workforce opportunities, and data will result in more individuals having the right preparation to re-engage in the workforce in higher demand, higher skill, and higher wage jobs. I'm confident that the Ready for Life initiative will fill the gap many Arkansans face between high school, college, and a successful career.
Thank you again, Governor, for allowing me to be a participant in this great committee. And I think everybody needs to understand the enormity of what is about to happen to our state, because it is an unbelievable opportunity for our state. I think a couple days ago that I learned that our budget right now and our workforce across our state is over $5 billion. And this is the opportunity to connect those dots together. It has the opportunity to bring all of our state agencies together and really target the educational institution training facilities, our secondary facilities, our post-secondary, and all those that work together that are going to beat the outcomes, the economic and workforce outcomes of our state. Over the last, this incredible year that we've had over the past year has been extraordinary economic change happening simultaneously. Rapid automation and exciting advances in technology impact our industry from logistics, manufacturing, health sciences, information technology, and all the aspects of how we create, communicate, and collaborate at work. Economic upheaval due to the COVID pandemic has caused lost lives and also livelihoods of hundreds of thousands of Arkansas workers and entrepreneurs. Education transformation, as our K-12, college, and adult educators heroically respond to the need to teach, practice, and assess learners in new ways, and with new curriculum, new technology, new methodologies, and changing teaching at a phenomenal speed. The Governor's Ready for Life investment represents our state's deepest commitment to our future business success, our future educational attainment, our future economic leaders, managers, skilled trades, professionals, entrepreneurs, college graduates, and learners of all ages. Our future, short-term and long-term, is about to change and transformation. It's all about creating positive workforce and economic outcomes and changing all about learning. Arkansas' success depends on our successful collaboration and our ability to learn and grow together. Ready for Life is designed to invite, support collaboration across all stakeholders, employees, educators, learners, and job seekers, To grow for future success, we all must work together. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. Really appreciate your leadership on this, and to Secretary Key and Secretary Fetcher, appreciate your partnership, and it's nice to serve in the cabinet with each of you and to pull together in this transformative effort to push this forward. When you look at workforce development, and any time, as the Governor mentioned, that we sit down with a company now, one of the first things out of their mouth is always, tell us about your workforce. Doesn't matter the industry, the sector, wherever they might be, it's tell us about your workforce. How are we going to find the workers in your state to fill the jobs that we need? And for the last several years, we've been talking about this estate and working very hard, thanks to the leadership of the legislature, and Senator English and has been so instrumental in this, and all of our local economic development partners around the state chamber, and their leadership. And we're all working in the same direction to get workforce and get that workforce narrative correct. As I've said this many times before, the state that can become the leader in workforce development is going to be the leader in economic development for the next 10, 15 years to come. We are building that platform for us to be that leader in economic development via workforce development. We don't have to go into a prospect meeting in the future and talk about everything else and then say, trust us on workforce. We can actually go in there now and sell on workforce development because we have that pipeline. We now have that data that's going to be available to us. This brings all those pieces together to give us that information that we need, that we can go into a county or region and be very specific with a company and say, these are the jobs that you need, these are the skill sets that we have, we're going to be able to fill it. I'm excited as an economic developer that we're going to have this tool and this resource. I know my fellow colleagues around the state are going to be very excited to have it. And then from this perspective of Department of Workforce Services, where we've seen such a spike in the pandemic because of unemployment insurance and people who are out of a job, we now have an opportunity for them to better upskill and get on a career path where we can help fill some of these jobs, because we still have jobs available out there. We just have to be able to pull these pieces together and finish that puzzle, and this is that tool and that opportunity to do so. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you, Governor. The Department of Transformation and Shared Services, through our Division of Information Services, is excited to have been part of this project with the other departments. I'd like to thank Robert Magoo and his team for the development of this system. This is a huge transformation win for the state. Before transformation, I don't think we would have had 3 departments working across each other with this to share data like we are now. And with this data, we're able to help the students and the citizens as well as do analytics through the data. Our Chief Data Officer, Dr. Josh McGee, is eager with his team to start working on the analytics through the department's information to see the trends, not only for the state, but also at that local level that we can drill down to and help assist the students and the citizens in the workforce. So, Governor, thank you for your leadership and for the opportunity to be part of this project.
Thanks, Amy. Well said. Senator English, get the clean up.
Thank you very much. This is, in fact, a wonderful day. It's something that, as Mike Preston said and the Governor, in my mind, workforce development, education is the most important thing we can be doing for the growth of our state. I think we all see how much technology has changed the world, and we have a really good example here moving forward of what technology can do to bring people together, bring programs together, give people an opportunity to see what they can do with the rest of their lives. Because as we know, so many people are at a crossroads right now with this last pandemic, but just thinking about what do I want to do different with my life. And I think with so many of these tools, people will have that opportunity. It will only grow and get better. But I thank you, Governor, for all your efforts.
Thank you, Gang. Appreciate it. With that, we'll turn it over to any questions. Rachel.
Thank you, Governor. You said this will be $14.7 million in discretionary funding. How much of that type of discretionary funding did the state get in total?
We received more in terms of the GEARS Act funding, which is the governor's discretionary tool. I believe that was more like 25 million. 20 million. 30 million. Thank you, Jeannie. You might have to come up here. And so this is one portion of that. So, and the others have been allocated for different purposes, but this is one of the key initiatives of that.
That it's been allocated for.
All right, Gina, can you help us out here on the how some of the other allocations of money? Is that what you're asking, Rachel? Yeah.
Thank you, Governor. Hi, Gina Wendell, Chief of Staff for the Arkansas Department of Education. The GEAR funding has been used for a series of initiatives, one that was recently announced today, and that was the broadband mapping piece. We were excited that the Governor was able to announce that, also through Commerce. In addition to the learning management system, we've also partnered with U of A Global Campus. They'll be working to provide some digital content, building out the learner-employer records. We're working with DIS on some funding to help develop the longitudinal data system. We've been working with short-term certificate expansion with the Association of Two-Year Colleges, with the U of A system, and also other two-year colleges within the state to expand their short-term credentialing programs for all Arkansans. We're going to be fulfilling some of the recommendations of the Computer Science Task Force as well, so there will be some money directed there. And I believe that that sums up the budget.
We can follow up.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Gina. Is there, I think we have someone listening remotely. If there is, we'd be happy to take any questions.
Governor, it's Brett Rames with 4029 News. It appears that part of the system is live now. What do you need from local educators? What do we need? Do we need people to contribute to this? Is it already there? What do we need?
Well, we'll need people to participate, but also to understand it. In fact, in this initiative, we have $200,000 allocated for marketing or getting the word out to our students, to our employers, that this tool exists. So gradually, as we build it, we will be marketing that, and as people become aware of it, whether students, employers can access. So the information flow through our schools is critically important. And so the students know what is available and how they can match themselves and their talents with an employer.
Governor Hutchinson, this is Des Nugent with KHTV. Quick question, how essential was the pandemic to creating this opportunity for Arkansans?
You know, that's a great question, and you know, the practical impact, first of all, is that the CARES Act funding gave us some discretionary funds that we could use, and it has to be you know, directed to online systems, increasing educational opportunities, because that has been challenged through the pandemic. And so this is an example of a real difficulty that we faced, but we used it as a means to solve a bigger problem. And that bigger challenge that we have is the connections and making sure that we not only have educational opportunities, but employment opportunities as well. And so the pandemic gave us both the difficulty, but the opportunity to succeed in it, and some resources to accomplish that. It emphasized the challenge that people are in a moving workforce. I mean, you had some during the pandemic that lost their jobs, that had to be reskilled. And when they're reskilled, they've got to sell that skill. This is a tool that can accomplish that. And there'll be other times in the future where it might not be a pandemic, but it'll be a economic downturn or some other event that causes a displacement of part of the workforce that has to be reskilled. And this is the tool we can use to connect that talent with an employer. All right, with that, Rachel, do you have anything else?
Yeah, was this inspired by any initiatives in other states, or?
Who wants to address that? I think my answer is that in our conversation earlier, this is pretty unique. So Rick, I think you've got the answer to that.
think the beauty of the public-private partnership of this whole piece is the dynamic that we really want to focus in on. And there's tons of states right now across the country that are trying to get to this point. Several states utilize their funds in different ways to target workforce development and driving the economic engine of it. And I think everybody's trying to get to the same outcome. But right now, with what we have in place, we could be the first in the nation to drive what we're trying to, what the end result is to drive our workforce development and economic development to really improve some of the state abilities in that as well.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your attention today to this important announcement. Thank you.